Hello, I'm making this video for Trump supporters or just Republicans. Yeah, I hope it's just to bridge a gap because in politics, everything gets so heated and people can't see each other or hear each other anymore because of triggers and because often one side thinks of the other side is dumb and the other side thinks of the other side is dumb and we don't understand each other. So I'm not here to do any of that. I'm just here to share kind of my perspective, and I hope you can have a somewhat open ear to hearing it. I think in our political landscape, people like to blame others for why they might be struggling. And politicians and political candidates, they point the finger at what to blame. And we as people can agree with that and, be like, yeah, they're the ones we should blame. Or we could see it a different way. So I see that most of the divisions and stuff is just people seeing a different way on who to blame. When I was starting to vote, I watched a YouTube video called Wealth Inequality in America. It's very good, Wealth Inequality in America. It shows like a little map of the USA with little like green dollar bills on it. It shows how much wealth is accumulated up in the 1%. And it's insane. It's an insane amount of wealth. So I originally went for Bernie Sanders, who was talking about the 1% and was talking about how in this capitalist society, we've gone like too far, like it's toxic or something. And whatever is happening, it's allowing billionaires to accumulate at an enormous rate and money to accumulate to those billionaires. How many billionaires? Currently in America, there's 748 billionaires as of 2023, right now. So 750 billionaires about. How much do those billionaires own right now? They own $5 trillion. Just for funsies, I did a calculation, like what if we divided that by how many people there are in America, which is something like 300 and something million people, among like working class people. And it was like, if we didn't have any billionaires, we would all have 25,000 more dollars in our pockets. So that's who I decided to kind of be like, this system seems incorrect if people can accumulate that much wealth. And I feel like it's at the expense of others. So then Trump comes in, who has he is one of these billionaires, and he preaches who to blame. He says, blame the immigrants. He says, blame the Mexicans, blame the people coming over the border. They're bringing drugs. They're not bringing their best. They're poisoning the blood of America. That's his new thing. And they're vermin, poisoning the blood of America. And like, we don't have to get on it, but that is similar rhetoric to what Hitler used. It's just the case. So some people are like, yeah, it's those people coming over the border. And it could be. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like that's where he is focusing your attention. The Biden administration, the DNC, and I don't like the DNC. I think they screw over people and they censor people. And yeah, not a fan at all. And blame the poorest among us is what he's saying. Blame the poorest among us. Blame the immigrants. Blame the people who are on Social Security. Blame welfare. Blame people looking for handouts. But he's not turning the spotlight in towards him, the billionaire, saying, hey, is it okay for people to accumulate trillions of dollars? I think Jeff Bezos has $200 billion. One individual in America, $200 billion. The other people have like 170 billion and like 160 billion. Bill Gates and something Warren, I don't know. But don't look at them, he says. And I saw it from the beginning. I'm like, this guy really, I don't think he cares about these people, which is you. I don't think he cares about you. I think he's using fear, he's using blame, he's using like rah rah rhetoric to like point the blame at the least among us. And I knew that he was going to give a huge tax cut to the rich. Like, I knew the whole reason he got into office was to help him and his billionaire friends. Like, it was so obvious to me. It was so obvious. And then what does he do? He gives them the biggest tax cut ever. Like, it's massive. I remember when it happened, it was like the billionaires are paying less in tax than the middle class, like for like how much they're making. Like they pay like 20% or something versus the middle class people pay like 25 or 30% of all their money to taxes. Look it up. My numbers are off because it's been a long time, but I remember that they're taking home more of their money than you are. And because of that, since Trump did that tax cut for the rich, those 748 billionaires in America has seen their wealth increase $2.2 trillion since Trump's rich tax cut, for a total of they own about $5 trillion today. So like, I hope we could just like come together a little bit. Like, I'm not saying you have to see it like I do. I'm just saying like this is what I feel like is causing a lot of the issues. So I invite you to watch on YouTube Wealth Inequality in America, and I might post in the comments or like on the YouTube thing description like some more information about just like the wealth gap. And honestly, I feel like Trump is just in office to maintain power, to help his friends. And I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't think he cares about the small people. And he knows that they're the ones that get him into office. So he says what he needs to say to do it, which is repetition of like, it's going to be great. I'm going to do it fast. And we're going to get it done. Like, that's his answer to almost every question. Like, how are you going to do this? Oh, we're going to do it. It's going to be great. And we're going to get it done fast. Like, start looking at policies, start looking at his policies. Personally, I'm liking RFK Jr. right now because he is looking at somehow capitalism is askew and how can we fix it? He's looking at a bunch of like huge issues that I'm really interested in right now. And I think he really can talk and bridge the gap for all people. And he won't call people mean names. He won't sit there and call Trump this or call Biden that, which is like, I feel the divisiveness, and my goal in life is just to kind of bring us all together and hear each other again. Because like, even like little issues like abortion, like I am pro-choice, but pro-life people, they're trying to save babies. Like, that's fucking noble. For a long time, I like hated them, like when they were picketing outside Planned Parenthood, and I was like, you guys are idiots, is what I'm thinking, because that's what like the quick thing to do in our culture is just like, I don't understand them, they must be idiots. And then I flipped around and I was like, what do they believe? I'm going to get curious about them. And they literally believe like they are saving babies, which I think is so noble. So, and that the other side is killing babies. So that might help them dehumanize the pro-choice side. And then I'm pro-choice because I'm like, I want babies to have a really quality life. And if people don't have the resources and the time and the space and the love to like really take care of those children, then I think that at that stage, the fetus is not, it's not much. So I'm okay with pro-choice. Yeah. So my goal, once again, It's just to kind of hear the other side, hear my side, and I want to like hear your side too in a way that's, we don't just trigger each other and yell at each other and treat each other like I get called a liberal snowflake all the time. And if I like actually feel things and cry, which I do because I'm in touch with my emotions and I'm proud of it. And they're like, "Oh, I made the liberal hippie snowflake cry." And it's like, I'm not here to make anyone cry. I'm not here unless they need to. I'm not here to call the other side idiots or create names, like mean names, like Trump creates for everyone who doesn't agree with him. I don't see like that's the path forward. And if this resonates with you, I invite you to just do a bit more research. And that's it. See you later.